Hey, just a quick warning as always, there's blood, magic, death, gore. But if you're okay with that, then please keep watching and enjoy.
Horror in the West Part 3, written by Levi, read by John Anthony. Uh-oh, Anne said. Remember how in the journal Harvey could not go more than a mile away from the pocket watch? Yes. Well, we brought the pocket watch with us away from the house, so that means his ghost was dragged along with us to the town. He was probably looking for us the whole time, but didn't find us, right? Oh my gosh, Anne, you're right, and we were in serious danger the whole time. That's not the worst part. When we left to go here, we brought along the pocket watch with us and dragged the ghost in a different direction. Oh, crap. We brought him back towards the house, so now he knows we're here and can reach us. Then we'd better hurry. They raced off down the hall in pursuit of Harvey's bedroom. Turning the corner, they found a door with engraved lintel showing it was the ghost's room. Turning the handle carefully, they crept into the room and looked around in amazement. The room was a giant cavernous space with a giant four-poster bed in the center. There was a bathroom on the right and a walk-in shower and a toilet and a bidet next to it. On the far wall, there were 8 floor-to-ceiling shelves with books loaded to the sagging boards. The pair rushed to the bookshelves and searched frantically for the book. Xavier looked for the oldest-looking book, but that was a long, boring text title, Preparing to Meet the Thine Maker, which had discussion on every religion known to man. Anne went for the biggest book, but it was titled A Bad Moon on the Rise, an in-depth study of astronomy, which was boring as it sounds. They were searching for 10 minutes before Xavier found it. It was bound in a calfskin and crudely connected with bits of string. Xavier flipped it open and found only one section with artisan drawings and sketches on it. It was written in some Native American language, but there were translations in pencil between the lines. Suddenly, they heard a thump downstairs and an infuriated yell as they heard poundings working their way up to them. "Quick!" said Anne, urging Xavier on. Xavier found the page with a heading translated, Breaking the Curse. In order to break the curse, you must not be the one under it, read Xavier carefully. To do this, you must recite these words perfectly while moving your left hand in the form of a cross. Xavier read the pronunciations as translated. Un baka kido, tu spiri oku. Then one must raise his right hand above his head and throw the soul vessel on the floor. Turn away, because an immensely bright light will shine forth, giving blindness to all those who should lay eyes on it. The translation stops there, said Xavier. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's do it. Okay, said Xavier, raising his right hand and holding the watch over his head. Un baka kido tu spiri aku, he chanted as he moved his right hand in a cross shape. He threw the watch on the ground and turned away quickly, expecting a bright light to flare up behind them. Nothing happened. The crashes and thumps were coming from right beneath them, signifying that the ghost was on the second floor, making his way up fast. You must not put enough spirit into it, yelled Anne over the noises. Let me try. Seizing the pocket watch, she repeated the procedure. Still, nothing happened. There was a bellow at the end of the hallway as the ghost saw his bedroom door ajar. The footsteps pounded faster as the ghost started sprinting down the hall. Maybe we should do it together, screamed Xavier in panic. Anne nodded in agreement, and together they held up the pocket watch and bellowed the words in sync. Xavier poured all his fear, panic, desperation into the words, and all together they slammed the watch down and turned around. A blinding light flashed through the room, and for a few moments it was the best feeling he had ever felt. We did it! We won! We vanquished him, he thought as he turned around. He and Anne walked out of the room, leaving the watch laying on the ground where they had thrown it. They rounded the corner and almost collided with Harvey Jones. He was kneeling on the floor, contorted in agony from trying to resist the pull of the spell. He flickered once, the see-through figure becoming nothing. Then he solidified. The ghost slowly stood up, flickered again, and opened its eyes. Run! Anne screamed as the ghost fumbled, trying to grab them. She and Xavier barged past the specter and ran for their lives. Anne rounded one turn, then the next, then barged into a room and slammed the door behind her. She said, We need to find a way out of here, then looked around expecting a response. She was alone in the room. "Crap, crap, crap," she said, pacing the floor. She must have lost Xavier on the turns. Where was he now? She had to go find him. She tried to open the door, but it was stuck. She pulled again and again, but it felt as if an invisible force was holding it shut. "Well, well, well," said a voice behind her. She spun around. Her face turned white. There, hovering before her, was Harvey Jones. Blonde hair styled, boots on his feet, a murderous look in his eyes. He flickered 3 times, then stabilized. Please don't kill me," stammered Anne, ready to pass out. "Oh, I assure you I will kill you. But I don't have time for fancy small talk. I gotta go kill that other shadow boy, too. I've been waiting to avenge my death for 172 years. I'm not gonna wait a second longer than I have to." Saying this, he plunged his hand into her chest with supernatural strength. He gripped her heart, wrenched it out, and squashed it like a ripe tomato. All Anne knew was agony. She had 3 seconds to see the ghost, who flickered in a spasm of pain, storming out of the room, looked at herself and see the blood pouring from her wound like a waterfall, and worry about Xavier. Before her vision went dark, she collapsed on the floor, dead. Meanwhile, Xavier tripped and fell after the first turn. He tried to call after Anne, but she was long gone by the time he opened his mouth. He rounded the next turn, found the stairs, and sprinted down onto the landing. He sprinted past Logan's body, down the next set of stairs, towards the front doors with the last strains of daylight seeping through. 50 feet, 25 feet, 15 feet, 10 feet. The door slammed shut. Cursing, Xavier slammed into the door and started frantically pulling at it. But it was no use. He ran to the nearest window to try to break it, but his fist stopped an inch away from the glass. He strained with all his might, but it felt like a brick wall had caught his fist and was not giving away. "I'll make this quick for you," said a southernly accented voice behind Xavier. He whirled around and stared straight into the barrel of a gun. He heard a click, a bang, and felt the strange sensation of his head exploding, and then he died. Harvey Jones dropped the gun and began convulsing. He fell onto the floor, writhing, flickered, and blinked out of existence. Anne opened her eyes. She was laying on Harvey's bedroom floor. How strange. She just had the strangest dream where she got killed by a ghost. She got up, stretched, and looked around. She saw Xavier lying on the ground next to the pocket watch. He opened his eyes, got up, looking confused. "What happened?" he asked. "I just had a nightmare where Harvey Jones shot me in the head at the front door. Why were you lying on the ground?" "I had a weird dream too," said Anne. "I guess something about that blast of light knocked us out." "I guess so," said Xavier. "But hey, we just crushed that ritual. High five." Anne went to high five him, but she missed. The funny thing was, it looked like she hit his hand, or at least grazed it, but it didn't even feel like the wind of the hand go by. It was almost as if... "Sorry," Anne said, trying again, slower this time. There was no doubt about it. Anne's hand went straight through Xavier's, and she gasped, "I can't touch you." She tried to punch his shoulder, but it looked as if her hand was absorbed into it. "Follow me. I have a hunch." She led Xavier out the room and into the hall. She turned the corner, and Xavier followed her, feeling strangely light. He rounded 2 more corners and walked into the side room, where a grisly and confusing sight met his eyes. On the ground lay Anne's body, still bleeding, with her heart on the floor. Anne walked over to her body and stared down at it. "Yep, just like I expected. The spell book thingy said that beyond translation that the person who expelled the ghost would transfer their soul into the vessel. But since there were 2 people to do it, we both got transferred into it." "No," said Xavier. "No, no, 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 no." He ran down the stairs to the front door and saw his body flat on the floor and opened the door. He sprinted down the lawn, straight to the direction of the town. He got to the point where he could just see the town, and he didn't see any more of it. He ran and ran, but his feet went in the grass and never brought him 1 inch farther because he had reached the 1-mile radius. "No!" He screamed and fell onto his knees in despair. He thought about the life he lost. He thought about his family and friends and how he would never see them again. It would just be him and Anne, just him and Anne, just him and Anne. The night air filled with the sound of Xavier's screams. The end. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe,
Tell all your friends about it. And remember, keep those titanium skulls polished, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.